only country in Europe capable of shutting down very quickly the rapid advance of radical jihadi groups towards the Malian capital, Bamako.
No European country in its current state could have replaced us or gone in with us in such a short time. I'm not criticizing Europe. I am simply issuing a warning. In the future, we should have what we need to be able to make such decisions.
President Hollande called on European Union member states to contribute on a large scale to the financing of an international aid mission to Mali. His speech in Strasbourg came as the international community has begun to mobilize for the West African state. High-level officials from Africa and Europe and aid organizations were meeting Tuesday in Brussels. High on the list of subjects was the respect of human rights in Mali.
We are very careful about respecting human rights. There must not be physical violence nor vengeance, because this could compromise the establishing of a stable political process. The entire world should organize around us to chase out the jihadi drug traffickers. We do recognize and apologize for the difficulties our people have been facing. We apologize, but must free our country.
The international unity on the subject of Mali should bear fruit with the financing of the AFISMA force and the reconstruction of the country. This would appear to be the best kind of praise possible for the decision by President François Hollande to engage in Operation Serval.
Well, we apologize for bringing you the wrong report. That report was actually on the French President François Hollande talking to delegates in Strasbourg. While clashes continue in Cairo at the funeral of an activist who was shot during riots, reports say more than 18 people were reported injured, and South African authorities have raised the salary of miners, this after the mass riots in the past 12 months. For more on these and other stories, we turn to this African News Roundup.
Cairo, the funeral of an activist who died in custody was followed by new fierce clashes between demonstrators and riot police. 18 people were injured in clashes Monday. Tensions between the authorities and demonstrators are being fueled by police brutality.
We are unable to stop the people from dying, and we are unable to stop the police from the brutality and killing the people and shooting at people, and we are unable to stop the torture.
In a televised interview, the French Interior Minister confirmed the arrest of 4 suspected jihadists in the Paris region. Police are investigating a network set up to send jihadis to fight in West Africa. 3 French Congolese and a Malian were arrested. According to the Interior Minister, the network concerns a small number.
There are only a handful of Frenchmen in the Sahel region. I cannot give you a precise figure on that.
Last August, a young Frenchman who had set out to join the jihadis in the north of Mali was arrested in Niger and extradited to France. Côte d'Ivoire's former ruling party, the FPI, is calling for an amnesty for persons involved in the 2010-2011 post-election violence. Former President Gbagbo's party repeated their conditions in talk with the government in exchange for their participation in local elections. The response from the Ivorian government is yes to reconciliation, but justice has to be done. Talks to bring the party back into elections began last January. South Africa has raised the basic salary of farm workers by more than 50% after violent strikes. There have been widespread demonstrations, clashes with police, fires, barricades and 3 deaths in the fruit-growing Cape region over the past 3 months. The new daily wage for farm workers is now 105 rands, or €8.75 a day, from the 1st of March next.
Well, time now to take another break. When we come back, we'll take a look at sports.
At EcoBank, we see a great future. one that's full of opportunity for those who want to be the best. With over 1,000 branches of a single bank across 33 African countries. It's a future where trade can flourish without boundaries. The future is breathtaking, with enormous cross-border investments helping business and government build new infrastructure, while individuals achieve their ambitions right across Africa. The future is Pan-African, and EcoBank is the Pan-African bank.
Welcome back. Time now to join Fat Jasse for a look at sports.
Thank you very much, Fatu Kamra. The signing of 2 Muslim players by an Israel Premier League club has caused storm in the country. And as CNN Sarah Sidna reports, authorities are getting involved because of the intolerance of the Jewish fans to the new Muslim players.
Go to hell, go to hell, go to hell, they scream. Not at the opposition, but their own team. Beitar Jerusalem is not your ordinary run-of-the-mill football club. No Arab has ever played for the team, whose supporters are notorious for their anti-Islamic and racist chants.
20% of the people in Israel are Arabs. A big chunk of people in Jerusalem are Arabs. This is a public team. So how for 70 years of this club's existence, there's not even one Arab player?
A reality that is about to be challenged because Beitar's management signed Zabrail Gadayev and Zohar Zedayev from the Chechnyan team Terek Grozny. At least one moderate supporter is okay with that.
They could be called 2 Chechnyan players. Why do they have to call them Muslim players? They're not Arab Muslims. They're Muslim light, Russians. So we accept them. If they're good, they'll play, and if not, they'll go.
Others are less forgiving.
I'm not saying if he is a Muslim or Arab, he is bad. It is possible he is a good person, but he is my enemy, and I don't support my enemy.
The man charged with dealing with the hardcore supporters is Beitar's general manager, Itzik Kornfein.
Beitar was always categorized as a racist team. And Beitar it's not a racist team. Not the players that play in it, not most of the fans, not the managers, not the management.
The Chechens know a thing or two about conflict, but the 2 newcomers say they're not interested in either politics or religion. They believe Beitar will provide them with a stage for showing off their football skills. Not if the hardcore have it their way. Recently, a sign appeared in the stands declaring Beitar is pure forever. That shocked many Israelis.
I think it's unbelievable that in this country, you know, we all know the history. We all know what happened to us so many times as Jews. You know, this thing that we can have those signs, it's just something that is sickening.
The club was fined $12,000. And at the team's next league game, police checked to make sure that 50 supporters banned from attending future matches did not get into the stadium. In Israel, even football is part of a bigger struggle. Sarah Seidner, CNN, Jerusalem.
Well, Fatu, that's all in sports. Back to you.
That's a very unfortunate situation. Thank you very much, Fatu. And before we go, reminder of headlines. President Jammeh leaves Banjul for Cairo to attend the 12th session of the Islamic Summit Conference. Officials of basic and secondary education have converged for their bi-monthly convergence to assess progress made in the Central River region. Syrian opposition leader Maula Zal Hatib has called for a positive response from President Assad for dialogue towards the country's transition, with backing from the U.S., Russia, and Iran. And French President Francois Hollande has urged fellow EU member states to provide more support in the fight against Tuareg insurgents in Mali. That brings us to the end of the news. Thank you very much for your time. I am Fatou Kamara, and inshallah we'll be back at 2200 hours with more news. Stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs.